Welcome to My Network. Today's episode is about unmasking the imposter syndrome, which is a real problem among young adults, especially when they're starting their career. How does it manifest? We're going to see how it manifests and the consequences and how you can go beyond it. The imposter syndrome is a psychological phenomenon that happens in the person, doubts himself or herself, doubt his value, downplay his achievement or her achievement, and it has a lot of consequences. Imagine that. Imagine how it can happen. The person doubts him or herself and as a consequence shy away from his or her success. The person can be you. This topic is very dear to me because I've gone through it. I've been in that position of the imposter syndrome, and I know what it means to doubt oneself despite the fact that the objective data show that you have everything for the situation, and you still think you don't worth it. Can you really do it? You're too young, you're too this, you don't belong, and so on. And all this put you in a situation where you keep missing. You miss this, you miss that by your own fault. Don't blame anyone. Don't blame anyone at the end of the day, because it's about you and you were the person shying away from it. So the imposter syndrome, how does it manifest? It manifests in different situations. Where the person doubts himself, there is a self-doubt, there is a feeling that you're not enough for the situation, there is a feeling that you don't worth it, or you look like in the eyes of yourself like a fraudster. Who am I to be the one doing this? Let's say you have a presentation in front of you, you have these people who are experts in different domains, they're older, they've done a lot of things in their life, and you're making a presentation to them. It can be like, who am I? Can I really talk to these people? Who am I to talk to them? Do I have anything to talk to them? Yes, if they're sitting in front of you, listening to you, it means you have something to tell them. You have something to tell them. You make it your research on a certain topic, or you know something you want to share. They don't know it, and you are sharing it with them. Go ahead and do it. Don't doubt yourself. So the manifestation comes when there is, you really think, you believe it. The self-doubt, you believe it. Is not that you pretend. You don't pretend. So let's see how it comes. A lot of us have been educated and grown in families where humility was considered as a value. So the value of humility has been taken to extreme, where we see humility, it's perceived as lack of confidence, it is perceived as incompetence to a certain extent. So this value of humility has been wrongly taken. How am I saying that humility is a bad thing? Maybe in some situation, and in a situation where you confuse humility and incompetence that can be perceived on you, or lack of confidence. If your humility is about lack of confidence, it's not humility, then you better go toward what you're shying away from, which you were preventing from having or doing, which is arrogance. Yes, they've been taking all the education, as far as I'm concerned, has been against arrogance. Don't be arrogant. You need to be humble. And this arrogance, I will tell you at this point, is if you have to choose between this humility that shows of lack of confidence and arrogance, embrace arrogance. Go to arrogance, because this is what we have. Personally, I've been raised to think that, do the things to the perfection. When you do the things to the perfection, then other people will see you doing it well, and an opportunity will come and do it. No, it's absolutely wrong. It is absolutely wrong. People are preoccupied with themselves. They're not there to see what you are doing well. So if you want them to know what you're doing well, say it. Embrace arrogance. Be at ease to say, yes, I know what I'm doing. I'm doing what I'm doing and I am okay with it. Yes, don't feel you're a fraudster when you are appointed to a certain position. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge you have the competence for. And even if in a situation you're entrusted with a project, you're entrusted with a task and you don't know how to do it, yes, what you do, you still know that as a person you can do it. If someone else entrusted you with it, you should take it. So how does it manifest? Yes, it manifests in self-doubt. It manifests sometimes in a kind of perfection where you overly try to perfect. You see some people, they have everything to succeed a project. They're still planning, they're still training, they go from one training to another training. And you see a lot of this in personal development field where some people are from one seminar to another book to another webinar to another. Go apply, go do your things. Or instead of starting their business, they're learning, they're going from one training to another training. Launch your idea and don't think you will be fully equipped. No, you don't cross the river before you reach it. When you reach the river, you cross it. So that means when you are in a different situations, when you are in the process and different situations appear, you find solution for them. And this is what you have to do. It's to embrace the fact that you are a work in progress, yes, but you have everything for what you are doing. Yes, embrace it. Go beyond this humility you've been educated to embrace. Embrace arrogance if need be. Because at the end of the day, you see different people, and the most competent is not the one getting it, is the most arrogant, the one who could say, yes, I can do it. Imagine yourself at an interview. There are two people. One says, yes, if you give it, if I'm recruited, I'm going to try and do it. And another person say, wow, I'll give you wonderful results. Who are you going to recruit? Who are you going to recruit? Is it the person who tells you that she's going to try, or the person who tells you that she's going to do it, she's going to deliver? Of course, everyone is going to take the person to deliver, because any recruiter knows that the recruitment of a person is a bet on the future, and especially you base on the past of the person to predict the future. The past is often a very bad predictor of the future in a lot of situations, because you may see that the person has done great things, and by the time the person enters your company, it's already tired and no more want to invest him or herself in any other company the same way she has done in the past. So you bet that the person will be doing the same thing. No, the person is not doing it. So at the end of the day, you have to learn a couple of things. You have to learn a couple of things. The first thing to overcome this, which prevents you from progressing, is to learn to blow your trumpet. Learn to talk about yourself. Learn to talk about the good you know. Learn to talk about the good you can do, because no one will do it for you. People are preoccupied with themselves. They are preoccupied with themselves. They're not there to look at you and find the good point in you. You are the one who spent 24 hours with you, not the other people. So learn to talk about yourself, and use the second point, which is a point that helps you build your confidence. Learn to talk in front of yourself in the mirror. The person you see in the mirror is the person other people see. So if you're not confident in that person, no one else will be confident in that person. And why even when some other people are confident in the person, you are still not confident in the person? Think twice. So what you need to do is to be confident, fully confident in that person. Talk to the person, run the mirror in front of you and see you, and be confident in the you see in the mirror. If you have this, then you're getting it, and you will be more confident in front of other people, because you know who they're seeing. And if you are confident in that person, they will be confident in that person. And this is this was the second point in developing, blowing your trumpet, developing that confidence through this mirror technique. A third point is to have a growth mindset, because in general it is when people think, yes, I am like this, I am this, I am this. It's a fixed mindset to think that I'm not good with figures. You want to do business, you're not good with figures. No, can't be like this. You develop a growth mindset and a learning mindset, which means whatever you want to know, you can know it. Are you a human? Yes, that means you have all the DNA and the basis for it. The genius, yes, it's someone who have maybe some aspect of him that helped him manifest some part of this potential, because as a human you have potential and you don't know the limit, if any limit at all. You don't know if there is even a limit to your potential, so you just taking some of it. Be confident at least it's there, and then you can take some of it, because if you're not confident that it is there, how can you take some of it? So the growth mindset is absolutely important in overcoming the imposter syndrome. Another thing about the imposter syndrome is related to education again, because in a culture like mine, you've been raised to think that other people are the one to say something about you, and when you say something about yourself, it is considered as not well seen. Learn that in today's world, in the social media world, in this 21st century, you talk about yourself. You can't talk about yourself. No one will talk about you in this positive way unless you ask the person to talk about you, because people, it's a narcissistic society. People have learned to talk about themselves. You see the number of, you have different platforms that are made for people to just project themselves in a narcissistic way. So why do you think they should be talking about you and presenting you? And when you look at it, it may make you think that you are not enough. No, they're presenting themselves in their best. It is their best they're presenting. And you know your worst. When you're considering their best to your worst, you're losing, because you don't see their worst. When if you saw their worst, you would have known that you have enough, you are enough, and your worst is maybe better. And if it's not, who cares? As far as you know that whatever you become aware of, you can change it. So in the imposter syndrome, back to the imposter syndrome, it is one important point is the awareness. Is the awareness. When you become aware of it, you become aware of the fact that you tend to doubt yourself. You tend to think that you don't belong. You tend to think that you need to be perfect. You know that you have something, you have to do something about it. And when you start developing your confidence, you start putting yourself there. You start accepting your achievement as achievement. You start not downplaying your achievement. You are really overcoming it. And the sooner the better, because it can be over time after you lost a lot of opportunities and you reach a certain age and you look back and you say, oh, 10 years ago I could have done this, 20 years ago I could have done it. Yes, you could have done it. Why you didn't do it? Because you were doubting yourself. What a waste. What a waste. Understand that now. And if you doubt yourself, you have to overcome the imposter syndrome. The imposter syndrome, it's real. It's not you alone. A lot of people go through it at different stages of their life, and it's a chance. You're lucky you're learning it early. You can overcome it, and when you know it is something that happens, there is a relief. You know you're not abnormal as such, because it happens. But it's not because it happened to a lot of people that you will let it hinder your potential. You won't let it just be because it happened to a lot of people. You are there to realize yourself. The responsibility of realizing yourself is on you, not on a lot of people, not on other people. Each individual has the responsibility of realizing himself or herself and doing the best of herself. So your responsibility is that awareness. When it comes, you are the only person to know. If you don't tell anyone, when you look at the people, a lot of people pretend, but inside themselves they still have this doubt, this self-doubt. Am I enough? Am I really, do I worth it? Do I belong to this? You belong, you worth it, because human affairs are for human, and if you are human, you worth it. Don't think that some people have a background, or some people come from a certain family, from a certain country, from a certain race, or from a certain heritage that makes them worth having this or that. No one. Just become aware of it, and this frees you. This makes you free. As soon as you know that you don't need any of them, you know that you belong. You belong to human race. That means you have whatever anyone else has, and this should remove from you this self-doubt you have. This will remove from you this feeling that you have to be perfect before you can have, because look around. No one is perfect from the beginning. No one is perfect from the beginning. No one is perfect at the beginning. They say hit the ground running. No, only the plane do that. They hit the ground running. But you know, before they land, the wheels come down, and they can, before they hit the ground running. And it doesn't happen like no, there is a process. So accept that process. Don't worry. It is just like this. Everyone is like this. The speed can vary from one person to another person, but know that as far as you acknowledge yourself as a person, you embrace the growth mindset, and you embrace yourself, you build confidence in yourself, you can overcome the imposter syndrome. Now, what can be yours if you overcome the imposter syndrome? Nothing remains between you and your success, because you have the confidence. You know you can do it if you start doing it. You know that there is no one who can convince you that you don't worth it, because what you can meet is some people who are going to downplay your successes, because when they had your age, they could not do what you are doing now, and so it's just their own complex, their own insecurities they're putting on you, and you take it. Don't take it. Don't let anyone tell you that you're worthless. Don't want anyone tell you that you don't belong. Don't want anyone say anything less that goes less than. Don't listen to it. Whoever is that person, can you hear me? Listen to this. Even if I'm telling you that you don't want it, don't listen to me. Whoever is the person is telling you don't want it, don't listen to the person, because you want it. As a human, you a wonderful creature of God, and this is, when you acknowledge it, you can't waste it. Not being confident in yourself is a waste. Thinking that you don't belong to this group, to this race, to this country, to this. I've heard it so many times. I've heard it. I've seen people thinking that because it is in you, sometimes it's only you who think it, because of this, I can't do this. No, it's you are the only person who think that. No one else thinks that sometimes. Yes, you see it. Someone think because I'm young, I can do this. No, you are the only one who thinks that because I'm a woman, I can do this. No, sometimes it's just you are the only person who thinks that. The other people don't think it, and even if they think it, don't validate. Don't let their opinion be on the way to your success. This, I don't know if I've repeated enough to tell you that what it is to acknowledge, to recognize the imposter syndrome, to be aware of it. I gave you some tips in overcoming it, including developing your confidence, mirror technique, including the growth mindset, including being aware of who you are.